Former Charlotte, North Carolina homicide detective Garry McFadden is with us now to discuss. Garry, it felt that coming into today that the video would be definitive proof because the police chief came out with such conviction over the last couple of days. The family is apparently looking at the video right now, Scott's family, at this very moment. How do you see this playing out with everyone on pins and needles down there?
Well, to be fair with the family and the department, I can't discuss anything about the case at this time.
Okay, so in other words, can you tell me if you thought it was misleading, at least initially, when the police said that definitively that this was a good shooting and that the suspect did not have a book, but instead he had a gun?
Well, like I said, I'm not at a position here to discuss that with, you know, the audience of the world. You know, we're going to leave that to the investigation. We're going to leave that to the lawyers here to hash those things out. I'm not here to discuss that.
All right, so let's discuss this. We've seen 2 nights of rioting. A lot of people are anxious. There have been some calls in the community and from other places that perhaps everyone should see the video. Now, I'm not sure how that would interfere with the investigation, but would that be something that you think, understanding the area and understanding the tensions, would be a wise decision?
Well, I think it goes back to what people believe and what people see and what people to write into anything. And so in my line of work or my past line of work, I know people's thoughts vary on seeing certain situations.
They do vary, and a lot of things are up for interpretation. But right now it's all guessing, isn't it? Particularly when you have the family that was insistent that the victim had a book.
Well, I'm going to go back to the same thing. It's under investigation. The investigation will reveal the evidence and the findings of that case.
Let me ask you about that area, Charlotte. I got to be honest. I'm shocked that this is actually going on down there. I know this is a state that's done extraordinarily well. You've got the Research Triangle. You've got a lot of banks down there. And yet, as I've done evidence and I've looked into this, there have been incidents down there. Is there something unique going on between the police and the black community down there?
No, it's no different than any other city in the United States. And it's no difference than any other police department and community. The police department and communities have a problem. Communication problem. A lot of barriers stand on both sides. And this is what we're going to see here for the next days. People are going to come in. People are going to have their opinions. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to fly in now. Something that we have to understand is that we're looking for consistency when we are trying to help a problem. 50% of our time, everybody comes in, everybody does a good show, everybody leaves, but nobody is consistent with dealing with the problems and issues of race, communication, and relationships. How do
you go about that, and how do you make sure it's a consistent effort? What exactly would you want to see if you have all of these people together, the spotlight is shining on this situation, and you could direct where it goes from here?
Well, if you take a look at the press conferences, do you see the people, what I say, are non-traditional leaders of the community? We have to reach the people that are not seated at the table, not often seated at the table, or maybe never seated at the table, and these are the people who are going to be in the streets each night. I have been in the streets, and I have been in the streets last night until 2 a.m. People that I wish to see in the streets supporting, suppressing violence are not there. But then we come out and now we talk about it, but at some point in time we have to understand the efforts that you believe that you are doing may not be the efforts or the energy that we need in that direction. We have to build relationships. We have to understand what really is going on. If it's a problem between the officer and the young black male, let them have the conversation. Let them talk it out. Let them come together. That's my concept. My concept is also when we go to these communities, speak to the people, talk to the people, allow those people who have never had a voice at the table to also be our leaders in the community.
All right, Garry McFadden, my wife and my daughter are big fans of your show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.